What's up guys, my name is Chay and welcome to today's video, which is based on the new specs for Skyrim Special Edition. Now, as this is going to be coming out at the end of this month, I'm extremely excited for this, and hopefully my computer is up and running, ready to go, and so hopefully is yours. That made no sense, but anyway, let's get on with what the new specifications are. Now, before we go anywhere, this is releasing on PS4 and Xbox One as well, so I'm going to quickly tell you how much space you're going to require for this game. Firstly, on PS4, if you're in North America, you need 20 gigabytes, and if you're in Europe, you need 33. I'm not really sure what those additional 13 gigabytes is referring to when you're in Europe or North America. It's very strange, and it's similar over on Xbox One. If you're in North America, you need 17 gigabytes, and if you're in Europe, you need 25. I still have no idea what those 8 gigabytes are referring to. Like, literally at all. It's mental. The only thing I can think for the additional 13 gigabytes of the PS4 is for when the PlayStation 4 Pro releases, it may be something to do with the 4K of that one. I don't really know. I can't find it anywhere. It's mental. Anyway, on to the reason why you're actually here. The PC specs! Oakley cokily. So, first things first, we're going to go down what you needed previously on the old Skyrim and what they are now. Why am I telling you this? Because why not? We can have a little bit of a comparison. So originally you needed to have Windows 7, Vista, or an XP PC. Two of those no longer exist. Well, they exist, but they are no longer really supported. XP and Vista, so they're out of the window. 32-bit or 64-bit was fine. However, nowadays, you need to have either Windows 7, 8.1, or Windows 10. Now, pretty much everyone has Windows 10 nowadays, and it has to be a 64-bit version, which I'm pretty sure is all of Windows 10, because the new Skyrim is in 64-bit! Holy fucking shite! Your old processor needed to used to be, is indeed a perfectly good sentence, was a dual-core 2 GHz or equivalent processor, which was pretty good then. It's pretty good in them days. Nowadays, however, you need an i5, an Intel i5 750 or an AMD Phenom, whatever the hell that word is, Phenom 2 X4945, anything along those kind of ideas. So basically an i5 or an X4. Random numbers. But I'm pretty sure I have an i8, or no, an i7 with 8 cores. I don't know. I have an i something with multiple cores. Fan-fucking-tastic. On to the RAM now, the random access memory. You used to need 2 gigabytes, which was back in the day, 5 years ago, it was, 2 gig, it's pretty low. Now, you know, normal is 4, that's fine. Nowadays, however, we need 8 gigabytes of RAM. So if you do not have 8 gigs of RAM, I would highly recommend going and buy 8 gigs of RAM, because that is pretty much a standard amount of RAM nowadays. That is normal. I have 16, I'm going to be fine. Fucking sorted. Brilliant. However, how much space does it require? That's the real question. Amazingly, it's considerably less, and I'm talking ridiculously less than what it is on the consoles. You only need, originally you needed 6 gigabytes, which was nothing. 6 gigabytes is nothing. Nowadays it's only 12. So where on earth the consoles are getting these additional amount of gigabytes, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea where this space is coming. 12 gigabytes is fine, considering I have about 4 terabytes left of free space, which is brilliant. Moving finally on to the most important one, which is your GPU, your graphics card. Originally a DirectX 9 compliant video card with at least 512 megabytes on it was what was required for Skyrim originally. And obviously a better one was useful because, you know, you used to max out with mods and whatnot. Nowadays, you need at least a 1 gigabyte for NVIDIA, an NVIDIA GTX 470, a 1 gigabyte at least, or an AMD HD 7870 as a 2 gigabyte at least. At least. So, there's quite a substantial jump. Okay, quite a substantial jump. So guys, they were the minimum required specifications for the new, whatever, the old Skyrim and the new one. The recommended ones are slightly different. The Windows version is exactly the same, however the processor slightly changes. So originally it was a quad-core Intel or AMD, nowadays it's an Intel i5 2400 or an AMD FX 8320. So we're still looking at kind of like the 4 to 8 kind of cores, that kind of area. The RAM was slightly different, however. The 4 gigabytes of RAM used to be the old version, and what it is now is back to 8, and of course the gigabyte hard drive space is the same, 6 and 12. Now, the graphics card is slightly different. So, originally it was a DirectX compatible NVIDIA and AMD ATI video card with at least 1 GB of RAM on there. So, previously it was like 500 or whatever. Nowadays, however, it is an NVIDIA GTX 780, 3 GB, or an AMD R9 290 at 4 GB. So, have you got everything that is required there, guys? Have a good old gander. Let me know. Chuck me down in the comments whether or not you've got everything you need or what it is you feel like you need to buy before you can play this game. But top notch! Remember though, that you don't need as many graphical mods, so you can still go a little bit mental with the whole, you know, other mods, but not the graphic ones, so we're going to be okay in that sense. So let me know what you think, guys. Are these ridiculous? Are these quite tame in considering what they are? Still don't know the whole free space thing, that's a little bit crazy, but if you know, let me know in the comments below, and if that was a good rhyme, actually. So I will see you when I see you. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, give us a good old like rating and subscribe as well. Why the hell not? And I will see you when I see you. I will see you when I see you. Toodle freaking friends! Goodbye. Which makes life more awkward, thankfully. Which is always what I'm after. Makes life a lot more awkward for myself, and yeah. That's just a bit of a pain in the ass. So, we're going to have to chuck our last little bit of roofing here for the wall anyway, because the rest of it, thankfully, is the funky square thing.